Hello and thank you for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to remove a kitchen faucet and install a new one. A little backstory to this. The other day, my wife went to shut the water off. Johnny, show us what happened. When she went to shut it off, she turned the knob and the faucet came right off. When that faucet came off, water was just shot in the air. We had a mess in here. Tip number one, know where your water shutoffs are. Now, to get this faucet out was a job. No, it didn't come out that easy. Underneath the faucet, if you never did this before, you have these retaining nuts to hold them on. And this sink is a corner sink. The supply line and the drain come out of that corner and it reaches all the way back. In addition to that, it's a deep sink. So when you try to reach the nuts from underneath to unscrew them, it's a tough job. Even if you have the right tool to get to those nuts, it's a tough reach. In addition to that, it just gets better. A few years ago, I was able to fit down in here. Due to COVID, little time, and maybe a few snacks in between, I no longer fit under here. I had to have Johnny go under there, and he was the one that disconnected this for me. And let me tell you, he had a tough time under there. This one nut, he spent an hour and a half trying to get this off. I don't know why it was so difficult to get off. It's plastic, so there wasn't rust, but you have all this over here, and it just don't want to come off. Now, on the other nut, we did it a little differently. Tip number two is to get yourself one of these tools. Regardless of the name brand, get yourself one of these tools. I've used it several times before for different projects. Never thought of using it for plumbing. I'll have a link underneath for this if you need one. He went under and he cut it on one side, cut it on the other side, and in less than 5 minutes, this was off. So an hour and a half, an hour and plus, got nowhere, 5 minutes and it was off. Don't even waste time, go right to the tool. Now that we have this out, the game plan is to install this new faucet. This is American Standard. Picked it up at Home Depot. What do you say? It's not a what? This is not a sponsored ad. Bought this with my own money. Now let's see what... Okay, we have our instructions. We have the base plate. We have the faucet itself. We're taking a different route this time around. We're going with a single faucet on it. And it has the, I believe this you could pull down. It has the sprayer. Something a little different. Okay. So this will pull down as a sprayer instead of having the hose. And we'll see how this works once we get it installed. Now this could be installed being in the front or to the side. My only question is, are these hoses long enough? Let's see what we have here. We have your hot water, cold water. Hot water, cold water. I have to look into see what these other two are for. So once I read these instructions to see how we have to do this, I'll get back. And meanwhile, I'll have Johnny clean up the sink for me over here. So Johnny, why don't you get started on the sink? I'll get started with the instructions and we'll see which way we have to go.
Okay.
Be back in a bit. This is the first time I'm installing one of these types of faucets. I found it a little confusing, so I want to point out some of the things that I finally figured out. This head over here is loose. I thought it was defective, but I come to find out why it's loose and what the remedy is for that. First of all, when you're putting this on, there's a rubber washer that has to go between the faucet and the plate. That has to go in between. Once you get this plate on and you stick it through the sink, you have to get this rubber washer up against the sink. This will be underneath the sink. Then there's this metal washer. Then there's this ring that turns all the way up. And it has 3 screws that you would use to tighten this washer against the rubber washer. So that part's taken care of. Now you're coming down here and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hoses. I was scratching my head on this for a while. But to make it simple, these are the 2 supply lines, hot and cold. They even have them in red and blue. This one here is for the head. And the way that head tightens up, they have this counterweight. And in the directions, it says to mount the counterweight between these 2 tabs. Once you're under the sink, you would get the sticker line and plug it in to this other line over here. This supplies the water to the nozzle. I was wondering what this was all for, because in the directions they're showing you a soap dispenser, and this model didn't come with a soap dispenser. So that's it. Now the hard part, one thing I think is going to cause us a problem, these lines have filters in them, and we have well water over here, and I know we get sediment from time to time. So at some point we're probably going to have to go back under the sink and clean this out. We'll see what happens. I'm almost tempted to pull it out now and worry about it clogging the head later, but we'll see. Johnny's still small enough to go under there, so as long as Johnny stays at the size he's at, I'm in good shape. Johnny, anything else you could think of that I missed on the installation?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, we're going off camera now to install this. We're not going to video it because there really isn't any room under there to video this. Once it's done, we'll show you whether this is working or not working. Let's hope for the best. Okay, John, let's go. All right, we have it all connected underneath. No drips. Let's see how this puppy works. Go ahead, Phil.
Turn it off.
What?
It's leaking.
That thing fell off?
God, yes it did. I knew it.
Last night we had that little disaster when we turned the water on. Come to find out, the faucet we bought was missing this piece right here. See this sleeve that goes up and down? I'm not too crazy about this. The way this works, this piece plugs into this piece here. Now, I thought the edge of this was just going to clamp on to this ridge. So Johnny plugged it in and he says, Grandpa, it's really not catching well. Well, the original faucet we had didn't have this piece right here. When you insert the bottom hose into the top hose, this locks it in. It didn't have the lock. So when we turned the water on, instead of the water going through this hose to the sprayer, it just popped off and water went all over. That was the disaster we had last night. I purchased this from Home Depot. We brought it back this morning. We got another one in place of it. This piece was nowhere to be found. We looked all over to see if we had this piece, just in case we pulled it off when we were unwrapping. Couldn't find it. Wasn't in the box, wasn't in the wrapper. Anyway, we're going to get back. We're going to have Johnny.
Yeah.
Here's Cookie keeping an eye on everything. We're going to have Johnny get back into that spot. We're going to squeeze him in there. And we're going to do this process all over again. Well, at least now we know what we're doing. And once we're done, we'll check for leaks. We'll show you the final result. Okay, John, back under. We installed this a little over a week ago when we've been using it. I mentioned earlier that the soap dispenser didn't come with this. This was a separate purchase. This is where the sprayer used to be. Took that sprayer out. It was no longer of any use. And we have the soap dispenser. So after a week of using it, Johnny, take a look underneath then. So Johnny, how do we look under there?
Going right now. All dry.
No water at all?
Nope.
Okay, close it up.
All right.
This is a nice feature. The sprayer, it's all in one, the sprayer and the nozzle. And that's a wrap. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to post them down below. If you enjoy the video, give it a like. It does help. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Hit that Joe Z icon. And not to miss my new videos as I upload them, be sure to ring that bell. Until next time, stay safe.